Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is Sandile Khumalo, and I am part of the NCPC Industrial Symbiosis program team. So my presentation will be very much quick because it will be just touching on industrial symbiosis as the program, how it contributes to the circular economy, and also the development and the creation of the waste economy. There's been a lot of talk about who the National Cleaner Production Centre is, but firstly, just looking at industrial symbiosis and some of the points that contribute to the circular economy. Firstly, one of the objectives of industrial symbiosis is the driving of the transition from the linear to the circular economy. The very work that we do literally assists the transition from linear to a circular economy, and it's all about returning waste back into the economy, but as it is returned back, it now becomes a high quality secondary raw material. That means that value has been added into the waste, and now it becomes a high quality secondary raw material. And then one of our focuses is the prioritization of the green enterprises. That is a very good space that we play in a sense that we try to assist in the development of the green enterprises so that where there is more participation from the SMMEs. And then industrial symbiosis also promotes and enables the innovation. There's been a lot of talk about innovation, how innovation becomes very important, and that links into the waste that is made available by the generators or the producers, and that goes back to the system that was presented earlier on, meaning that companies are now able to log on to the system and make their waste available for innovators. And then strategic collaborations, that is where most of our work really gets its support in, as we are collaborating with national, provincial, and also local municipalities. And in the waste economy, it's all about viewing waste as a valuable resource. As long as we can be able to identify the value in the waste, then that also enables the waste economy, and also prioritizing the recovery of the value that is in the underutilized resources. And then policy also becomes very important. As we've heard from the DFFE, that there is policy that enables the circular economy. Just to highlight one from DFFE, the delisting of coal ash and exclusion of coal ash from the definition of ash, or from the definition of waste. And that has really enabled a lot of work to be done when it comes to the coal ash. And then funding becomes very important. As long as funding is available, and then industrial symbiosis can be implemented. But very importantly also, the need for the access to the funds to be made very easy and not too complicated, because funds are very much critical when it comes to waste and SMMEs and enterprises as well. And then there is also support that is currently being offered by the industrial symbiosis in the SMME sustainability. The ISP team was able to develop a document that means that now the program NCPC is now able to support SMMEs to ensure that they are sustainable enough. If there's waste available, we can test that waste. We can have support available to have tests and analysis on that waste to ensure that whatever project is being implemented, but there is test. Black soldier flies, we've done tests on them. The projects are currently happening, and there's also exhibition outside on the project. And also Maggie has mentioned a lot about the buyback centers, and this is where our focus is now increasing in, because we know that buyback centers are there, but we need to ensure that we can support and ensure that they move from being just buyback centers when they start processing waste and they become producers and they produce products from the waste. Also, there's also guidelines available on the website. There is a guideline that has been developed for buyback centers to ensure that they operate efficiently and also they recover as much of value from the waste that they collect. Also this year, there's a lot of assessments that we are doing when it comes to buyback centers. It's not just operating a buyback centers, but we need to ensure that we assess if they are operating efficiently or if they are losing in their operations as buyback centers. And into the circular economy, the synergy identification is a very obvious contribution to circular economy. Importantly is the highlighting of the reduction of the reliance on virgin resources. If we can make waste available, we are certainly reducing the reliance on virgin resources that we have available. And of course, the reuse of resources, this is a very important term that is used sometimes carelessly, because if we are reusing waste, it means that we are keeping the materials longer in application or in the economy in their original form, meaning that there was no energy, there was no water and other resources brought into this reused resource, but it was used in its original form. And then obviously contribution to GHG reduction. This is what it's all about. But as we do synergies, we do calculations on how much GHG emissions have been reduced. And when we calculate the reduction, it's not just about reduction from the landfill side, but we also look at from virgin reduction, what does it mean in terms of GHG? Reduction in transportation. If we can reduce the transportation or the kilometers traveled by a transporting company or a waste skip company, that is also contributing to this reduction. Also in energy, Sumaya has spoken about the energy use, but there's also synergies that also contribute to the reduction of GHG in the energy use. And then sustainability. Industrial Symbiosis is all about sustaining all resources, either in waste, water, energy, and economy, and the economy as well. So if we can ensure that there is sustainability in all these, then we are able to prove that there is that contribution to the circular economy. And then in Mpumalanga, there's been the established circular economy cluster under the Green Cluster Agency that is being developed by the Mpumalanga province. And under the cluster, there's a lot of projects that are circular economy, and I'm happy that FewCorp was also here, and they've presented that there is a lot of projects that are taking place that are looking at contributing to circular economy. Just to end off, a few pictures of the projects that we are currently looking at. Currently, we are doing tests and analysis on these fly ash reinforced matrix material composites. So these are ingots, they are aluminium, but they are not just simple aluminium metals. They are fly ash reinforced, meaning that we are improving the density of the material, we are improving the strength of the material, we are also improving the overall performance when it comes to the properties of the material. So this is one project that is going on in Mpumalanga. Now we are working with the manufacturer or producer of the product to ensure that they don't just produce the material, but they meet all the required quality specifications, ensure that it's able to compete in the market. Yes, that is in the EU with the help of the CSIR. And then this is in Bushbuck Ridge, Mpumalanga. These are drums produced by an airport. After filling their airplanes, these drums becomes waste. And then these guys, they come in, they take the waste, refurbish them, and then they turn it into dustbins. Now these are able to service a lot of schools in the rural areas where there's a lack of infrastructure, but these are able to ensure that there is that waste collection service. And then in Limpopo, paving bricks, these are also produced. Plastics, there's a lot of talk about plastic, but there's a range of products that can be produced from plastics. So this is one of the good projects that are taking place, and our assistance here is that we are also testing the bricks, ensure that it's analyzed, it's tested, it also complies with the standards that are out there, ensuring that they are able to also compete when it goes to the market, because it doesn't help to have a product if it's not competitive in the market. Thank you, Mr. Chair.